What up, everybody? It is Preacher Man Sports, and welcome back to another video. And I'm here to do my Denver Broncos Week 3 NFL preview between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Um, Chargers are favored by 2.5, so literally it's split down the middle. Even with the injuries the Broncos have, the Broncos are going to be without Dre Greenlaw and Evan Ingram, which sucks, but it is what it is. But the good news is, Nate Atkins will be back. But let's be for real. Nate Atkins is probably better than Adam Trautman. I can't even believe I'm saying that because he's actually a red zone merchant. Because last season, I think he had 5, 6 touchdowns, which is fucking crazy. He had a couple key ones last season, like the one against the Colts. He had one against Atlanta. He's an okay tight end. He had one against, I think, the Panthers. But, he's not a dazzler. And with Dre Greenlaw being out, next week they better ramp him up because it's a long week. He's going to have an extra day to get some practice because it's a long week. We play Monday night next week against the Jake Browning-led Bengals. But this week, if he doesn't play against the Bengals, then why didn't Sean Payton just put him on the IR? That's going to be a bad look on Sean Payton. I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on these guys yet. It's still early in the season. If it's mid-season, this shit's still going on, then yeah, it's gonna look like a pretty bust of a free agency. But I'm not one of those fans that just shits on every player after 1 or 2 outings. There's some people on Twitter that just wanted Surtain and Benito go. I'm like, really? But they do need to step up though. Surtain, even though he only gave it 60 yards, but for his standards, come on, man. And in a lot of that, he had good coverage, but it was just a better ball placement, which sucks. Fuck me, man. But the Chargers, they played the 2 other division rivals, the Chiefs in Brazil and the Raiders in Las Vegas. Now that they go actually their first home game in LA, but is that really a home game with all the Bronco fans going to be there? Come on. But the keys to winning this game is going to be get pressure on Herbert. That offensive line is good. They don't have Rashawn Slater, but Joe Alt's going to be protecting his blind side, so Benito's going to probably have his hands full on that one. So it is what it is. But the center of the line, the interior of the Chargers offensive line is the weak part. Their exteriors or their tackles are really good, but their interior, Zach Allen, Franklin Myers, you better get in and sack Herbert. I know we can sack that fucker. All right, and then the secondary is going to be a little to the test because these weapons they got are solid. There's Ladd McConkey, so McMillan and Jahdae Barron, they have to get ready. I feel comfortable to see what Barron can do than fucking McMillan because Barron has looked okay as a rookie. The first week, he looked solid. He had that fumble recovery. Last week wasn't that bad. I didn't really notice him that much because they split between him and McMillan. The linebacking, oh god, fucking Alex Singleton. I can't believe this fucking plumber is still on my team. And I know the Chargers, they don't have a Dazzly tight end. All they have is Will Dissly, but still, I know week 1 he did fine, him and Sternad, but week 2, oh god, Tyler Warren gashed them. But, the running backs by the Chargers has been underwhelming. I'm not scared of Najee Harris. Omarion Hampton kind of he doesn't look that good himself behind that solid offensive line. And storyline, J.K. Dobbins, a former Charger, the Broncos are going to be key to give him the ball because he's been looking solid these first couple games. So I hope he keeps it up. I hope he has 100 yards plus against the Chargers. Oh, my God, I would love that shit. Bo Nix, against Indy, he didn't play bad, but that pick, man, don't force it. And these playmakers like Cortland Sutton needs to step up and get his fucking hand out of his fucking bank account and start getting the ball because the Colts had a depleted secondary, and he still fucking got locked up. 1 catch, 6 yards. Troy Franklin was good, though. He established for 100 yards total in that game. Marvin Mims had a touchdown. You got to get R.J. Harvey more involved. Man, you got to get him more involved. I'm happy J.K. Dobbins looking good, but R.J. Harvey, you got to get him more involved. And the Chargers defense is one of the better defenses. Like if they play like shit, they know how to adjust with Jesse Minter. And then like the key to the Chargers is that they don't even have Khalil Mack, who's on the IR now with an elbow injury. And then like their secondary is their strong point. Like Derwin James and these other guys, Junior Colston at linebacker, like these guys, like their front seven isn't scary. I'm just gonna say that now. There's no Khalil Mack now. Like there shouldn't be any excuse. So the Broncos offensive line, I expect Bo Nix to have a clean game again. He only got sacked once in these two games. But like I said in my preview, I said we would lose this game 24 to 14. But the way the Chargers are looking, I say we could win this game. I say we win this game by a score of, let's say 24 to let's say 20. I think what's gonna happen is that the defense, they actually didn't play bad. I think they actually forced 2 turnovers and win the turnover battle. They don't turn the ball over once. They'll pick off Herbert once, and I think Omarion Hampton fumbles the ball once, or one of those receivers, and we end up winning the game. The Chargers are going to try and drive downfield, and that's when that interception comes in. To who gets the interception, I don't know. I think it will be. I'll say Hufanga. Why not? He's been good for the Broncos. But I think the Broncos can win this game. Like I don't know. I don't know. But I know earlier a lot of people say, "Oh, it's 7-10." Yeah. But everyone knows I don't mean that, because I do that after every game, and then literally the next day I'd be saying, now that I've calmed down and slept it off, and I say this and that. But the Broncos, like the defense, they need to win all 3 phases of the game. Like against the Colts, their defense, they lost the defensive battle and they lost the special teams battle, and they should have stole that game. But it is what it is. Like Will Lutz, I blame fucking Will Lutz more than I blame that leverage call, because if he just makes that kick, it was like a 45-yard kick. Wait, no, not 45, 42-yard kick. He makes that. You're pushing the Colts to get a touchdown, and even though the defense wasn't good that game, I know they would have stopped them from getting a touchdown at least. A field goal, no. And even then, that field goal they almost stopped them. But the defense has got to be better. These guys, linebackers, like shit, man. Like this is a wake up call after that Indy game. Okay, the secondary is going to be tested in this game. I don't know. Surtain's going to be on Keenan Allen. McConkey, you got to double him off. And then, Quentin Johnson can actually catch a ball now. Now, the running back, I don't know. That's to be determined. But if we can pressure Herbert, I know we can win that game. Because Herbert stinks under pressure. He just throws the ball. He just airbails it when he gets under pressure. But it is what it is, man. And the Broncos, they just got to win in the trenches. If they can win in the trenches, they can win this game. And then they'll get prepared for the next week on Monday night against the Bengals. But that's all I wanted to say, guys. Make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Go Broncos. Beat LA, please. And let's get this win.